good evening. It's another Friday, and actually it's the first Friday in April. And guess what? It is now time for another episode of Bungee. Well, of course, you must know by now that Bungee comes live every Friday from 8 to 9 on GIS. And of course, we do have our friends on GBN as well, viewing or streaming simultaneously. Well, this evening we have yet another exciting program as per usual. We know by now we get accustomed to how it goes on Bungee. But let's start first with our Bungee news. Well, we want to extend congratulations to the St. David's Catholic Secondary on obtaining the title of the United Insurance Secondary School Cricket Competition winners. Way to go, boys. Also, congratulations to all winners of the Grenada Volleyball Association competition. In the female division, first, Elizabeth and Mookie. In the second position, Thonia and Melissa. And third was Lati and Rachel. So obviously they were doing teams there. In the male division, first we had Darren and Akim. Placing second was Jonelle and Devon. And third, Jeff and Tash. So that was the results of the Grenada Volleyball Association competition. This evening, there'll be a benefit concert at Cuthbert Peters Park in St. John's tonight. It starts here at 9 to assist the fire victims in Guava. We know by now of the persons who lost their home in that tragic fire. 5 homes, I think, were actually gutted to the ground. And the show will feature the likes of Richie Stanislaus, Brother B, Talpri, Shotpri, Mr. Killer, and out of Trinidad we have Valentino and Black Stalin, both of whom I'm told have Grenada. As a matter of fact, Valentino was born in Grenada. Cherry Hill, to be exact. Now, the show promises to be a great one. The admission is only $20, and all exit are final. So once you go inside the people place, stay inside. Because we go back outside, another $20. Although the organizers probably wouldn't mind too much. You go in and out, and they get additional $20. But Fish Friday, well, this is Friday, so you know every Friday is Fish Friday. So you want to head on to Guav. So that's another reason to go to Guav this evening, but not before the end of Bungee. We always say that. You have to stay and look at the show first, after that you head to Guav. Now, the Grenada Cultural Foundation webpage and Facebook account is up and running. The interested persons can visit the website at culture.gd and the Facebook page at Grenada Cultural Foundation. Also, the foundation has a new feature that highlights forerunners of Grenada's culture. You can nominate persons. You can send your submission to gcfmanager@spicesile.com, or alternatively, you can use culture.gd or even Grenada's or the foundation's Facebook page. So you want to nominate your persons there who are forerunners in Grenada's culture. You want to see them up on the web page, just contact the emails that we would have given you. On Friday, 11th April, so that will be next Friday, a church service will be held at the Closier SDA Church, followed by a supper in the evening. An award night will be held on the 12th of April. So Closier is obviously having some celebrations up there. And a fun day, food fiesta and farmers market in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture will take place on Sunday the 13th, which is the final day of the Closier celebration. So that seems to be a weekend of activity at Closier, boy. Next weekend, Closier, here we come. The committee of Closier will be well, now we see we had it twisted a bit. So the committee of Closier will be celebrating the week of activities running from 6th to 13th April. And they're starting with a hike on the 6th of April, where persons will be traveling and exploring around the mountains of Closier. This should be a good line. Followed by a moonlight walk on Monday, April 7th. A health fair will also take place on the 7th of April in celebration of Nurses Week. You know how long I take a moonlight walk, boy? On Tuesday 8th, the community will indulge in a karaoke night, which is quickly becoming a national pastime. It is karaoke singing. And the children's talent night will be on the 9th of April, and a weird night. I'm not coming. A weird night I trust will take place on Tuesday 10th, but that probably promises to be interesting. And now we could say on Friday 11th, the church service will be held, and then followed by supper. The award night will also be held on the 12th, and the culmination of activities on the 13th with the fun day, food fiesta, and farmers market and their likes. The Grenada Football Association will be hosting an extraordinary visit by the President of UEFA, Mr. Michael Platini, and President of CONCACAF, Mr. Jeffrey Webb. The activities include a cocktail at Spice Island Beach Resort on Saturday evening at 7:30 p.m. And Sunday morning, the visiting team will first meet with the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Mitchell, at Boucher-Jou playing field, and then they will tour the construction site of the athletic and football site And the day will conclude with the launching of a grassroots program, as well as a football festival and press conference at the National Cricket Stadium. That's our Bonje News. Stay with us. Don't go. We'll be right back.
Bonje, it's a cultural theme. Experience the goodness of the spice. Friday nights from 8 to 9. Culture at its best. A way of life, of customs and traditions. Bonje, hear the stories. Listen to the music. Witness the action and the old talk. A real Grenadian cultural experience. Bonje, a product of the Grenada Cultural Foundation.
Welcome back as we continue with our program, Bonje. When my guest is even my first guest. It's someone who is more of an icon as far as education, the delivery of education in Grenada is concerned. He has been associated with the GBSS for many years. In more recent times, he's associated with another secondary school. I think it's Westmoreland, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But today we may not necessarily be talking that, although chances are that may come through in the discussion as well. He's a man who is multifaceted. You didn't know. He sings as well. Yes, I had the pleasure of hearing him over the Christmas holidays. Brother Victor Ashby, good evening and welcome to Bonje.
Oh, thank you. Thank
you. Good. Yeah, they didn't know you could sing.
I know.
And they didn't know you have nimble feet. You dance as well. You know?
Culture,
But this evening you are here in your capacity or associated with the Intercall games and so. And we're going to be chatting about that a bit.
That's okay.
Right. I know the schools are all busy preparing. The students are all, well, most of the schools will have actually had their own individual sports meet in
That's
preparation
correct.
for the challenge, you know, the inter-college challenge. How is preparations going so far?
Well, it's not preparations anymore. It's delivery.
Yeah, I like it in a different phase right now.
Yeah, we are in preparation. Really is being tested.
Right.
Because you would have heard that in the 2014 delivery of Intercall, there is a 3-day engagement.
3 days?
3-day engagement, just as we were.
I didn't seem to pick that up.
In 2005. Remember after Ivan?
Oh,
there was a 3-day delivery of Intercall, where Tantine, or the Roy St. John playing field,
yes, that's the venue this year, is it?
Is a part of the venue.
Okay.
Part of the venue. Given that the center venue for Intercall 2014 is the National Cricket Stadium, Grenada Cricket Stadium, and that we must respect the fact of cricket, where such events as long jump, the javelin, the shot put, the discus, you really can't do too much of that in the cricket venue.
They actually put a beating on the cricket and the venue?
Yeah, it would hurt. It would hurt.
Okay.
So these events are being done outside of that venue. So today, for example, there was the field events at the Tantine Roy St. John playing field. Just one field event will be done in the cricket stadium at Intercall 2014, and that's the high jump.
Okay.
Of course, you know, there's a landing pad.
Yes.
And it can't hurt anything, really.
What are the dates for Intercall this year?
Yeah, it's always the Wednesday and Thursday before the start of Holy Week.
Okay.
And of course, you know, the Holy Week is that period of religious observation that comes just before Easter, well, let's say Easter Sunday.
Okay.
So the Holy Week starts, if you ask me, with Palm Sunday.
So Intercall will be the week preceding that?
It's the week preceding that.
Okay.
And it is also the last week of school.
Okay.
Generally,
Okay.
it's the
Right.
last week
Right.
of school. So it will be Wednesday the 9th and Thursday the 10th.
Of April.
Yeah, that's next
Okay.
week. Yeah.
All right. But you speak of 3 venues this year, or activities being held outside of the cricket venue.
Yes, just
what has necessitated that change?
Yes.
What has affected, influenced that change?
To hold it outside of
To
the
ho-
cricket
yeah,
venue?
Yes.
Well, the bottom line is to do with preservation of the outfield for cricket, and bearing in mind that Grenada has 2 regional or international matches in August, and this is the dry season.
Okay. I probably would have asked you, not necessarily asked the question there. I wanted to get the information out. Normally, intercall is held in the athletic stadium,
Yes,
but that is not available this year.
no, it won't
Right,
be. Yeah.
and that is probably where I was headed.
Oh, I see. Yeah. We were there last year.
Yes,
I
yes.
mean, Intercall was at the
Right.
athletic stadium last year.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's under renovation.
It's yes,
Right.
it did, yes.
All right. So
Yes.
so we probably may not have that
And I
venue available.
would say necessarily so,
Yes.
because since 2004, since 2004, we have had the athletic stadium in the condition that it is now, that is undergoing renovation, and I would add extension.
Yes. Well, hopefully in another year or 2.
I'll say
we will revert
not
to-
more than 2.
Yes.
Not more than
Right.
2.
What are some of the challenges faced or experienced with the new setting as it is?
Yeah. Well, we do not have the synthetic track. So in a technical sense, you would not expect the kind of speed and of course the kind of time that you would be clocked at when you have the synthetic track,
Right,
because the
right.
track you will have now would be grass.
How about if folks decide, listen, I still want to break records, so I'm going to work harder?
Oh, no.
Do we think if the challenge shifts to perseverance and dedication, that we could still eventually see some of those records?
That could happen, but it would have to be super performance
Oh, okay.
in the main.
All right.
An event like the 1500 and like the 800 these events would have a stronger chance of delivering themselves with comparable times. But the 100,
That depends on speed.
and surface,
Yes,
and surface. I am satisfied that the athletes would all go for it. But if you did not get the sharpness of the time, you can fault them.
Don't fall them.
Don't
too
fault
much.
them. They're on,
Okay.
because they're on grass.
Right. We had a gentleman from the Ministry of Sports, actually Mr. Francis Conrad,
Yes.
on our program a couple of weeks back, and he also indicated that there is another issue with respect to the shape now of this new venue, or this alternative venue that is being used.
Yes.
That could influence time as well.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You want to elaborate on that a bit?
Yes. In the athletic stadium, the track is 400 meters. In the cricket stadium, the track is about 350 meters. About 350 meters. So it would mean, whereas in the athletic stadium, an athlete doing the 400 would do one round of the track. In the cricket stadium, the athlete has to do
one
and a bit. and that bit in the head of the athlete.
Yes. Yes.
You pass
yes.
the finish line, and you have to come back and pass it again.
I know. So that's a psychological.
Yeah,
kind of thing there.
that's something there.
Right. But have the athletes been afforded
Exposed?
the opportunity to train on this so as to kind of break that psychological barrier, to get accustomed to kind of thing?
Well, the only training they would have had in that setting would be their own sports, and that is to do with schools in St. George.
Yes.
And on top of that, remember, KFC relay meet
Yes.
was
Oh,
there,
okay. So
and
it's-
also national championships was there.
Right. So for the schools outside of the school that are not domiciled in St. George's,
Yes.
they would have had an opportunity through
Through
these
those two
additional.
events. Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes,
Wonderful.
yes, yes,
Wonderful.
yes, yes. So
Because you know what I mean, brother.
Yeah,
Ashby.
yeah,
I don't want
yeah.
to. I don't want to come down to my schools from my country and figure, oh Lord, them fellas is doing this disadvantage in them and that's all.
No. It won't be that. No,
Okay.
they would perform.
Okay.
They'll perform.
Before we wrap up, tell us about. We know that Scotiabank has been sponsoring this game for eons. Do you have them on again this year as a sponsor?
Oh yes.
You do.
Well, I think we need to note that this is the 49th year of Intercall. So in terms of your cultural interest and in terms of your cultural promotion, it cannot escape us that the Intercall is a cultural, iconic activity
Yes.
in Grenada.
Yes. Yes.
It is.
And that's a very strong point.
Yeah, this is the 49th year. And of the 49 years, Scotiabank has sponsored the Intercall for 35.
There must be something that Scotia is happy
Yeah.
with, boy.
Of the 49 years, 35 of those were sponsored
By
by
Scotiabank.
Scotiabank. Scotiabank started its sponsorship in 1980, and the Intercall started in 1965.
Good, good.
And it must be noted, because I don't think it would be fair to talk the Intercall and its creation without saying or informing that the foundation schools, which were directly related and certainly grassrootedly connected to the Intercall, are SAS, GBSS, Anglican High School, St. Joseph's Convent, and Presentation
Brothers College.
Brothers College.
Right, right. And on that note, we want to say congratulations to the schools that would have started. And of course, we want to as well say congratulations to the schools that came afterwards, the Happy Hill Secondary and others
yeah.
who were not even around yet
Yeah, no.
when the Intercall would have started.
No.
But they would have certainly come on, over the years and added some more intrigue and excitement and so on.
Oh, yeah.
And make the Intercall product such a more enhanced and wonderful one. We want to say thank you very much, Brother Ashby, for joining us on Bunji.
Oh, that's the way to go.
And, and do wish you the best when Intercall. And of course, as we always indicate, may the best teams win.
You made the best
But of
team
course, we
win.
want to challenge every team to
Yeah.
go out there and give off your best.
Exactly,
Right?
sir.
Give off your best. But when we come back, more information on Bunji. Already, we're having a very good evening. We want to thank Mr. Ashby for that interview once again. And as we indicated, wish him all the best. Stay with us.
Bonjay, it's a cultural theme. Experience the goodness of the spice. Friday nights from 8 to 9. Culture at its best. A way of life, of customs and traditions. Bonjay, hear the stories. Listen to the music. Witness the action and the old talk. A real Grenadian cultural experience. Bonjay, a product of the Grenada Cultural Foundation.
There is still a place where untouched beauty meets soothing experiences and a warm people. It is a place where cascading waterfalls meet quiet meandering rivers to join silky stretches of white sand beaches. A place where you are greeted with the friendly smiles of the local people, while the rich aroma from the abundance of tropical fruits, fresh herbs and spices fill your lungs. A place perfect for curious minds intrigued by 18th century plantations, a water-propelled rum distillery, historical forts, and petroglyphs that are still visible today. A place where you can go turtle watching, feed mana monkeys, and marvel at water-filled craters created from extinct volcanoes. This place also allows you to enjoy perfect year-round sailing conditions while diving the world's first underwater sculpture park. This charming place is neatly situated in the Southern Caribbean and is popularly referred to as the Spice Islands of the Caribbean. These islands are Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. So come visit us as we take you on a journey like never before. Come, experience the rhythms of spice.
Welcome back to Bunje. And we, just before the break, we had Mr. Victor Ashby, and he was indicating, and I like that point, that, you know, intercall is an iconic activity. It's happened for 49 years. It's deeply rooted in our culture now, the culture of our schools and the competition and so. Well, we're moving from one aspect of our culture to another. And we have a gentleman, our next guest actually in studio, is someone who I'm actually surprised tonight. You know, it's amazing. Grenada is a place where people are so multi-talented. There could be one person by day and by night a different person altogether. Now, so just before we take on that interview, however, though, we want to go to our Bunje moment. And of course, our Bunje moment is part of our program that is here to create a light moment and you know, tickle you a bit. So stay with us this evening as we introduce our Bunje moment. Enjoy.
Bunje.
They might use a boat. What you think on that one that coming?
With them?
They might. All the people upstairs.
I can't think. Wait, the one with the long hair is a real one up at the
Yeah, but what's saying?
He's a real engineer. I kind of like him. I'm check him out.
Bunje.
All right. Let's put this thing in perspective. Now, our Bunje moment may not always make you laugh, but it's supposed to make you go, oh, Bunje. So today's Bunje moment, imagine this. We take with time and build a stadium, right? All our nice walls and all kind of money put in them, and the people doing the construction now was able to knock it down with a piece of wood. You saw that? With a plank, right? So, I mean, it kind of makes you say, Bunje, that is the quality of stadium we had. Well, anyway, that is a different point. Let's not go there this evening. So there we are. The Chinese were actually knocking down the old stadium, the walls of the old stadium in preparation for, you know what I mean, the athletic stadium that is, in preparation for the new construction. So that was our Bunje moment this evening. So now we go to our next guest. And as we indicated just before we had the Bunje moment, this gentleman is like a lot of Grenadians. There's one person by day and another person by night. In the day, you'll see him at his place of employment, right, in a financial institution. We ain't giving him no advertisement here. A financial institution. And in the night, he's a producer. His name, Alex Ed, a.k.a. Sandman. Alex, welcome to Bunje.
Thank you very much. Hey, love the hat, man.
You do?
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
You wear that every episode?
Every episode is part of the Bunje paraphernalia.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought when I saw it when you walked through the door.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Thanks, Alex. So we say you're a producer, but first, before we go into that, tell us about the name, boy, Sandman. I mean, people have all kind of nicknames, sobriquet and so, but Sandman sounds kind of interesting.
Every time somebody asks me that, I give them a different story. So I'll give you this one.
All right. Give me my story then.
Yeah. I was on the beach. Actually, there was a long time, well, when I just started production, I walked into a studio, a radio studio, and there was a young lady there. And my name was different at first. It was a different, I was kind of in and between. I'm not going to really mention what it was.
Okay.
Before.
But looking for that feeder, that name that sticks.
So she said I was fine. I didn't know what I mean. So I said, fine. What do you mean? She said, like, son. So Sandman.
So that's the Sandman one
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And that stuff.
That's the story you're gonna get.
Okay, all right. So, I mean, so that's my story. Tell us, how long have you been in the producing, and what actually brought you to that point? Because we indicate you do other things. So what brought you to the whole business of
Okay.
is music production?
All right. Well, I began interacting at around 2000. Well, when I was in college, the early days of college, music programs became available through the internet at little to no cost for me or for us, as you rather. Very intermediate programs, music creation programs. So as a youth, many youth are interested in music. That's one of the main streams of entertainment. No, and I came into contact with some colleagues from school who had the programs and played around with it a little bit. And it started from there. I did that for about a year, and then it kind of fizzled out. And then in 2009, a friend of mine who had music equipment, like actual equipment, in a studio that he was building, had to vacate his studio because his wife did not like the noise.
I know you didn't say she didn't like the creation of music.
No, she didn't see it as music. She saw that noise.
All right.
So yeah, so he's like, hey, you had to hold this for me. Oh gosh, I don't know what to do again. Hold it for me. I said, no problem. So put it there and stored it. And every morning I'm getting up and seeing it in the corner of my eye. So until the time I decided to, see how it do. I give him a call. I say, hey, let me test all this stuff now. And he's like, yeah, go ahead. And that's where it started.
And so that led you to build your own studio then?
If you want to call it that, yes. Yes.
Okay.
I don't really consider what I have as a studio. I just consider it as a workspace.
Okay. Okay, so you're involved in the producing, so you have assisted how many folks? How many folks have you worked with thus far?
Oh, quite a few. If you want to call him, I could whistle.
Robert White.
Who?
One J, yeah. You never heard a name in the music industry.
Yeah, yeah, we have Mr. Killer, we have, like the Lava Man, Short Pre, Tall Pre was there, the young up-and-coming artists, Snakey, had Killer, Sinner. I work with Sugar J, Laura Lisa, quite a few.
Good. You're right around the block.
I'm not calling everyone because I'm liable to forget to mention.
All right, so you're right on the block. How is the experience like? I mean, music is a diverse thing. And funny though, the names I've heard you call seem to be in a particular genre. But have you gone outside the soca genre?
Actually, I started my main genre of interest before, when I paid my attention to music on the listening side, was hip hop and rap, So yeah, that's I began trying to produce that type of music. I quickly came to realize that it was not lucrative to do so in our environment, so that quickly got discarded.
Yeah, 1J, you can make money with that, but...
Yeah, I don't really, and the thing is, you asked me how I came to be able to work with these type of people. I'm surprised myself, because I don't really have much rhythm in myself,
I was just about to, you kind of go straight into the next question, eh?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to ask you, sometimes you're there and as a producer yourself, the music is all around you.
Right.
You're within and among the music. And sometimes you feel, but I could do other things, Yeah. Have you done a lot of little things already in terms of putting on some of your own music?
I have a couple tracks under. I can't be there doing things and I'll do something for myself, right?
Yeah.
I had a release a song in 2009. That was No Prisoners, Black and Greasy. That was a surprise to me because that was in the testing phase of the equipment that I had inherited. And I did it. I had it there. A year passed, and someone came. I played for it. They're like, "Hey, that sound good." I said, "Yeah, fine." And then I took it from there. But otherwise, you asked me to play a piano or beat a drum, and I'll pretty much make a mess.
Okay. How can we locate Sandman? Where's the studio located? How? I mean, so I have a rhythm in my head, and I want somebody. I want to work with a producer. How do I contact you? And how does the process flow beyond that initial contact?
Well, the best way to contact me is on my Facebook page. You could just add me, Sandman HD. You could add me. You could message me, and I should be readily available at that point. If you have a rhythm in your head, though, what you should do is take out your smartphone and voice note it, so you don't lose it.
Well, that's a good idea.
It's always a good idea.
Folks, that's a really, really good idea because you know you may hear something now or something comes to you now, and then it happened to me a lot.
It happened to you a lot.
2-3 days afterwards, what was that rhythm again? But that was sounding so good, and you may try, and somehow it just doesn't come again.
Yeah, I find I have a lot of storage space in that too.
So I can
Yeah.
all right, son. All right. So you know you had to go to a different level of producing, but the comedy too. We're chatting here in the studio with Alex Ed, aka Sandman, and he's a producer. Actually, has done some work with some of the names that you'd have called earlier on, some of the better known names in our music industry in Grenada, and he's loving it. He indicates. Alex, what do you think about our music and our musicians in Grenada here? I mean, and our musicians, not necessarily in terms of who produce and play the music, but the folks who actually have the music like walking around their head, and eventually the performers. What are some of the issues that you see in terms of their development? What are some of the things that are keeping them from the big, explosive opportunity to go out there? Some of our people are well known to the region.
True.
Right? But we are yet, if you ask me, to find a Grenadian that we send out there that has
really?
That has an international reputation, like probably a Rihanna or
okay.
Or you know,
I know of one who may be getting there.
Maybe getting there,
Yeah.
and I mean I'm encouraged to be. I know there are a lot of people around who I believe have the talent. You know, I've said on our earlier program that talent alone, in my opinion, is not enough. You have to work and you have to be disciplined. But what in your opinion, let's say it from you,
music
are actually preventing or holding our people back from going there?
Okay, music, in my opinion, I would always say that is an art form, especially that in the soca, right? One is that is unique to the world, right? People leave from Europe or England to come to the Caribbean to hear Caribbean music, right? So it's that unique. It has that appeal to it. Now, music in itself constantly changes.
That's true.
Right? And you can have one type of sound one year, and you might have that sound the next year. But 2-3 years down the road, it eventually starts to fizzle. Right? People's ears become familiar. So one should always be mindful that even though it's a soca genre, there's one type of genre that we're dealing with, there are others that may be incorporated through whatever, through sampling, through your own creativity, but the music must evolve. That is one thing that is a must. It should not, in my opinion, stay the same. That I'm not saying that some of the key factors key factors in our music, like the guitar, the drums, or the brass, have to be removed, or that's stale, you have to change that. But to incorporate something new into it and help it to evolve, right? We in Grenada here, a couple miles down the road is Trinidad. And every year we look at Trinidad, jump up with something new. And this is what pushes the art form. Because that's one. Another thing is technology, right? To have your music sounding good, you need a combination of things. You need someone who has a capable pair of ears, someone who has a good taste, or give you a good judge of the material. And you also need capable instruments, equipment, to facilitate that type of production, right? Even though some machines, even up to decades ago, may still give you a better sound now than some that are being produced now, being put in production now. It will be I always advise to try to upgrade, because everyone around us, all the other islands, everyone is upgrading. And the thing about equipment is a lot cheaper now than it was in the past, a lot easier to obtain. And even here in Grenada, a lot of people may not notice people who aspire to produce, or even not even production, anything to do with culture. They can apply for concessions to the Ministry of Tourism and Civil Aviation, Arts and Culture, to bring in, so that they wouldn't be so heavily taxed on anything music related or anything that betters the art form. Yeah, but all in all, to say, keep your ears open and I try my best not to replicate too much of what I hear.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. On that point, I'd actually want to thank you very much for joining us on Bonje. I want to thank you for sharing, and I encourage you to keep pushing, keep producing.
Yep.
And we certainly, when that big explosion, listen, it will happen, eh? It's just a matter of time. But I'd love to know that Alex Ed or Sandman.
It's part of it.
It's part of it.
I'll get that hat too.
That's all right, man. I mean, that'd be a small price to pay.
Yeah.
We'll be right back on Bonje.
Bonje, it's a cultural theme. Experience the goodness of the spice. Friday nights from 8 to 9. Culture at its best. A way of life, of customs and traditions. Bonje, hear the stories. Listen to the music. Witness the action and the old talk. A real Grenadian cultural experience. Bonje, a product of the Grenada Cultural Foundation.
Welcome back to Bonje. Wow, that's an interesting interview there with Sandman, Alex Ed. But we now want to show one of our own who has been taking the music, you know, and trying to get it to a different level. That is a gentleman who is actually studying music, right? Has a very good voice, and I believe that once he continues, he's someone who may be that person that would help to take their music outside. And when I say outside, I mean international, showcase Grenada. We're speaking of none other than Donnell Best, and we're going to be sharing him on our video moment in today's program. He's doing a cover for the song White Sail. Sit back, relax, enjoy. Donnell.
I was just a little boy swimming in the ocean. The past mistakes and future choice. I don't think I can swim this on my own. 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 Destiny fall down. Wipe away my past mistakes. The sun ain't shining now. I don't think I can make this place my home. 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 Stand by me, from your voice to my ears, to my ears. Stand by me, from your voice to my ears. If I abide to your will, Will I never have no pain? Will I never have no pain? I'm tired, but my body's saying, let me by the riverside so I can die. Please be still, 'cause I'm complacent here, lying by the riverside, lying by the riverside.
Wow, wasn't that enjoyable? I mean, I just didn't want it to finish. The first time I've heard a violin, you know, this strumming, I don't know if you want to call it strum because it probably, I don't know, for want of a better word. It's the first time I've heard it being played that way. And Donnell, sounding good, right? Remember we did say Donnell is studying, he's overseas doing music, so we want to encourage him and go forth, Donnell. Sounding good. We take a break right now, and when we come back, more action on Bonjay.
Bonjay, it's a cultural theme. Experience the goodness of the spice. Friday nights from 8 to 9. Culture at its best. A way of life, of customs and traditions. Bonjay, hear the stories. Listen to the music. Witness the action and the old talk. A real Grenadian cultural experience. Bonjay, a product of the Grenada Cultural Foundation.
There is still a place where untouched beauty meets soothing experiences and a warm people. It is a place where cascading waterfalls meet quiet meandering rivers to join silky stretches of white sand beaches. A place where you are greeted with the friendly smiles of the local people, while the rich aroma from the abundance of tropical fruits, fresh herbs and spices fill your lungs. A place perfect for curious minds intrigued by 18th century plantations, a water-propelled rum distillery, historical forts, and petroglyphs that are still visible today. A place where you can go turtle watching, feed mana monkeys, and marvel at water-filled craters created from extinct volcanoes. This place also allows you to enjoy perfect year-round sailing conditions while diving the world's first underwater sculpture park. This charming place is neatly situated in the Southern Caribbean and is popularly referred to as the Spice Islands of the Caribbean. These islands are Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. So come visit us as we take you on a journey like never before. Come, experience the rhythms of spice.
Bonjay, boy, time is really flying. I couldn't imagine the time now. Let me see, the clock on the wall saying almost about 13 minutes to 9. Woo! Well, tonight we did indicate in our Bonjay news, and I'm sure you must have heard it on the radio and other media, that there's a show in Guelph, a benefit show. The show is put together to assist. The proceeds will go towards the fire victims, right? And while a lot of Grenadian artists are on the show this evening, but there are two very interesting personalities who are on the show as well, who are out of Trinidad. One is very interesting in that while he's out of Trinidad, but he's born in Grenada and has been living in Trinidad for quite a few years. I'm speaking of none other than Brother Valentino, and he is on the program with us tonight via telephone. We want to say hello, good evening, and welcome to the program. Valentino.
Hello, good evening. Hi, Grenada. Good evening to the radio station and the host.
How you doing, brother?
Not too bad, man. Just getting ready for the action later on, man.
Listen, I saw you on TV this morning, and you get up early, boy.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me something. Welcome home. We know you were born in Grenada, and you always.
It's nice to be back home, and sometimes, I don't feel to go back in Trinidad.
But don't let them hear say that.
That's our secret.
Tell me, what can we expect from you for the show tonight?
Well, we have a nice program. Myself and Black Stallion have a nice program planned. It's a kind of surprise, so if they, you know, we want the people to come and really enjoy the nice surprise we have for them. And I'm begging Gov, come out in your numbers tonight and support our holy cause too at the same time, you know.
Good.
But we got something really nice in store for the public.
Good. And let me tell you something. If it is half as good, listen to me carefully. If it is half as good as that show you and Stalin put on in Sates about 2 years ago, well, we in for a real treat.
I tell you, that was a really nice show, man. I mean, it was so nice to do that for the people.
Yes.
And yes, man.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to doing something similar tonight.
Good, good, good.
Yes, brother.
Well, I mean, the people are listening now. Any final words you want to give them in terms of encouragement?
Well, one serious note, I want to end on one serious note, that I'm in total condolences with the people who lost their homes, you know, the victims of that disaster. And it's one of the reasons why I'm here, you know, it's the main reason why I'm here, to lend support in whatever way I could, you know, and Black Stalin also, you know. So really, I'm in sympathy with the cause, and it's an honor to make a contribution like this.
And we are really happy that you have taken the time off to do so. It means a lot to Grenada, and more specifically to the fire victims.
Yes, brother.
Yes.
Okay.
Good. Well, we do wish you the best performance tonight. They're coming up there, so looking out.
All right, okay. So when you come here, just make yourself known to me, all right?
Will do. Tell me now, Stalin close by you there?
Yes, Stalin close by me.
I know this morning he couldn't wake up, you know.
No, you're right. Come one time. Yeah, you're on his way.
All right, good. All the best, man. See you later.
Okay, Grenada. So come out, go, come out in your numbers later on. We'll see you all. Hold on.
Take care.
Yes, pleasant night to you.
Hey, Leroy.
Yes.
Tonight the black man going to be partying.
Of course.
How you doing, man?
Everything all right. How you go?
I'm good. Welcome to Grenada once again.
Well, you know.
Stalin, how much stamp you have on your passport for Grenada, boy? You just be here every 2 weeks.
Every boy, I can't check it. I don't even check that again. I don't even check that again. This comes like my second home.
I know, and we really appreciate the connection. And we appreciate the fact that you would have come for this specific activity too. The whole of Grenada want to thank you, but more specifically the victims of the fire, I'm sure, would want to express their appreciation.
Yeah. Well, I feel good doing this, you know, because I do a lot of charities too, you know. All the shows can be just one type of show.
Yeah.
So I think, always give back to your people, then.
Right.
You know, and once you could do anything to help the situation, come out and do it.
Good. And that means so much. So what you have on the cards for us tonight, boy?
Well, we're going to nice up the dance, you know. We're going to nice up the place. Right. Of course, you know, the Black Man Go Party and and some of the people's favorites.
And I want you tonight to tell Peter, wait.
Well, he waiting. You don't hold on. You don't hold on. You know, but we think this is a nice one to do, and I think Valley too very proud of coming to do this. You know, because you know always we have to look after we people.
Yes.
You know, and the little that we could do to give them back this kind of strength and get them back on the foot is our duty to do it.
And for that, we want to say thank you so much. Well, brother Stalin, it was nice chatting with you. A little later on, I want to pass by the show as well, so I can make yourself known, man.
So looking forward to see you. We're going to take a little lime.
Yes, man.
All right, then.
Take care. All the best.
Love, man, and to everybody out there, don't forget tonight.
All right.
Yeah.
Speaking with Black Stalin, Leroy Caliste out of Trinidad and Tobago. As you hear him in his own words, he's a Grenadian, you know what I mean? Valentino could say that too. He was actually born here, but Stalin been here so often. He feels like Grenadian right now. And of course, this is one Caribbean. It is so good that they have taken the opportunity to come across to Grenada and do the show. I'm told that all the performances and everything, even the people who are providing the services, everything is being done free tonight, and all proceeds go towards the fire victims. So here's what. You viewing, all you have to do now is to come and spend $20 and enjoy a good show. Monies will go to the fire victims. We take a break right now. We'll come back, and we got one other interview that is going to be very interesting. Don't move a muscle.
Bonjay, it's a cultural theme. Experience the goodness of the spice. Friday nights from 8 to 9. Culture at its best. A way of life, of customs and traditions. Bonjay, hear the stories. Listen to the music. Witness the action and the old talk. A real Grenadian cultural experience. Bonjay, a product of the Grenada Cultural Foundation.
welcome back. Whoa, I keep saying time flies, and I mean tonight is seen as though the time is turbocharged, man. It's just just going. Well, we're into the final, the wrap-up segment, and we promised an interview, or third interview, and it's actually one that is pre-recorded. I had the pleasure and the honor of interviewing a gentleman who is going to be 102 years in June this year. I mean, he needs, well, I shouldn't say he needs no introduction, but he's a man who has done well. He has given a lot to Grenada. And I wanted to sit back now and relax and enjoy the interview with Mr. Dennis Malin Smith, going to be 102 in June. Good day. I am coming to you from Montgelou, and I'm told that is French for jealous mounted. Some of you didn't know that, right? And today we have the distinct honor of speaking with a gentleman who is a centurion. We don't have many of those around. The gentleman has celebrated 100. He's actually heading to his 102nd birthday in June of this year. We took the opportunity to journey to his home to have a discussion with him about that feat and also about his other exploits, what he would have done in the last 101 years of his being here. So today I'm extremely happy to introduce you to Mr. Malin Smith, a gentleman who we have the distinct honor and pleasure of having this discourse with. Mr. Smith, good morning.
Good morning.
I am extremely happy to be here this morning. I feel honored to be here this morning because it is the first time I've had the opportunity to speak to somebody who would have gone past 100 years. Before we do anything else, I want to congratulate you on having attained 100 and heading to 102. How does that make you feel?
Tired.
Beautiful one-word response.
I suffer with weak knees, and at the moment I can't exercise because the body is too weak. So the muscles, you know, are so soft.
Okay. That is something that obviously comes, I guess, with you know, as you grow older. But you're still here, and we do appreciate that.
A little bit. I avoid the radio because of not being able to hear what is being said.
Okay, yes, you did tell me that you have difficulty in hearing, and one of the challenges that you face at this time is difficulty in hearing. But let's speak about some of the positives, though. The fact that you would have celebrated 100 years, and obviously you must have done a couple things in 100 years. We are told that you were a musician. You played the saxophone. No?
The trumpet.
Oh, the trumpet. So I got my information a bit skewed. But we are told that in the early 30s and 40s that you would have been part of a band that did calypso work and other work. You did some recording in Trinidad. Tell us something about that.
Well, it's a long story, but we went to Trinidad in 1939 to compete against a Ghanaian band. Name of our band was the Harmony Kings.
Harmony Kings, okay.
It's a long story, but to cut it short, we made several recordings with the leading calypso singers in Trinidad, because when they heard the Harmony Kings of Grenada, they all wanted us to accompany the songs.
Who were some of those names that were prominent around that period?
The Roaring Lion.
Yes.
I can't remember the others. Because he made 4 songs with us, accompanying his singing.
The Roaring Lion did some selections with you. And that obviously was long before the days of Slinger Francisco, the Mighty Sparrow. That was long before his days, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So you see, and I'm speaking to the camera now, that's information that we would have given to Trinidad some some part we have aided in the development of calypso and the other performing arts in Trinidad. We hear so many times that there are Grenadians who would have influenced the development of Trinidad music, carnival, and we're still doing it today.
Well, you know, Sparrow is a Grenadian.
Yes, he is. He is. Yeah. And we are told that Valentino has Grenadian roots, Black Stallion has Grenadian roots, and Austin Lyons, Blue Boy, also has Grenadian roots. So when we speak of the calypso scene, there are so many Grenadians, so many Trinidadians we can point to that has Grenadian origins. Now, Mr. Smith, we are told recently that as a result of your musical exploits, you were recognized, you were awarded. I'm thinking it's just last weekend, was it?
Yeah, it was Saturday.
Saturday gone. Well, how does it make you feel to, even at this stage, be still receiving awards?
The award is really for the band. The Harmony Kings Dance Band. The award is for the band, not for me personally. But I was manager of the band, and I played trumpet with the band. But I also played trumpet with other organizations, like the St. George's Musical Society at the time, in the 1930s, 1940s. I played with the police band.
You did?
And I, because I was a recruit in the volunteers, the Grenada Volunteer Corps. I had a khaki uniform on when I was marching with the police band.
And that's Grenada Voluntary, that would have been GVC, they were called for short? They were referred to as GVC in those days?
GVC?
GVC, Grenada, oh no, I think GVC would have been later on, Grenada Voluntary Constabulary. I think they were voluntary, they gave voluntary service to the police, so they were in khakis. I'm just making that similarity.
That's not right. I'm referring to the police band.
Oh, the band itself?
Yes, they were in dark uniforms.
Okay, okay.
But when I marched with them, I was in a khaki uniform.
Okay, okay. And then that is because you were much young then, much younger than the ordinary policeman.
Well, I was in my 30s.
Okay, okay. Now we've spoken about your exploits in music, but there must be other sides to Maylin Smith. And I'm told that maybe one of the reasons for your longevity is the fact that your diet. Let's speak about your diet a bit.
I'm a vegetarian.
How long have you been a vegetarian?
Most of my life.
Okay.
From the time I was in my 30s until now.
Would you attribute your vegetarian lifestyle to your longevity?
Well, I would say it has something to do with it. But there's much more to it than that.
Okay.
It's the way one thinks.
Ah, that's an interesting point. That's an interesting point. Did you think that, okay, I am going to live as long as 100? Did your thought processes, dictate that, hey, I am going to live as long as 100 and plus?
No, I had no idea that I would live as long as 100. But there are so many things that contribute to longevity. Apart from the diet, I mean, you say after all, why should people eat the flesh of dead animals? What some people say about that is, they are digging their graves with their teeth.
And that is indeed a very philosophical way and maybe even practical way to look at it. But some people have said that life is about balance. How would you comment on that?
Well, there are certain rules that one should follow. Particularly the way we think. The thoughts we had yesterday are the same thoughts we have today and the thoughts we will have tomorrow. And those thoughts about the past and the future, neither of which exist. And if you want to be in heaven, as Jesus pointed out, turn your thoughts into the body and feel yourself. It's a wonderful feeling. And we, according to what the church does not teach, we are spiritual beings. This is only a carriage for us. We are spiritual beings.
I am connecting, you know, I am connecting. I have read myself, and let me ask you, as we're on that realm, what are your thoughts on reincarnation?
On what?
Reincarnation. What are your thoughts on reincarnation?
Oh yes, I believe in it. I believe I was here. Well, the fact is that there's so much evidence all over the world that I don't understand why people reject the idea. You heard of OBEs?
No, I haven't.
Out-of-body experience.
Oh, yes, I have. I didn't understand the acronym, but I've heard of it.
There are patients in hospitals who have suffered that. They have a glimpse of what it is on the other side. I don't know as I should say any more on that.
I have, and that's why when you introduce the idea of the spiritual nature of man and the fact that this is just a carriage, that's why I said I was connecting, because I have similar thoughts, and I'm reading into that particular, well, should I say theory, should I say reality, should I say concept, for want of a better word. I'm reading into that now, and I'm very, very interested in what I'm finding out.
There are wise men from 2,000 years ago to the present time who are telling us what the truth is. We don't listen. Instead of listening, we go to church.
Mr. Mayling Smith, it has been such a pleasure chatting with you. I wish we could continue this interview for so much longer. I'm just trying to frame it within the time slot that we have for the program. But we really want to congratulate you once again on your achievement. We want to congratulate you on your life, because I don't think that the achievement is just the fact that you have lived to 100, but it's a quality of life that you would have lived. We want to congratulate you on that. But more importantly, we want to thank you for your contribution. Well, welcome back. Wow, having a discussion there with Dennis Mayling Smith. Going to be 102 years this year. And you notice the gentleman is still, he has all his faculties and so. Hey, I met a man on Skype when I went there. Bon Dieu, you think it easy? The man was having a conversation with his daughter in England via Skype. And when I left his home, he went back on his computer, put it on himself, and navigating himself. That's all we have for this evening. We want to thank you for viewing. We want to encourage you to go support the activity in Guelph. We really need that support. Go support. $20 to go in. And it's going to be a star-studded cast. Stalin is here, Valentino is here, Jamo, Talpri, Shotpri, Looney Spark, and Electrify, and a host of other artists will be passing through. But until then, have a good week. Enjoy the weekend, have a good week, and see you next week. Same time, same place. Move on out.